Hi everyone, my name's Ian. Today we're going to be looking at adjectives and what role adjectives play in our language. But before we get started on adjectives, we'll need to do a quick revision of what nouns are. So let's get started. Nouns are generally described as the names of person, place, things, or ideas. Proper nouns are nouns that refer to the specific names of things such as Tom, Mary, London. Collective nouns generally refer to groups of things such as a litter of puppies, a herd of cattle, a pod of whales, a murder of crows, and so on. Okay, well now we're going to be looking at what adjectives do in our language and how they enhance the meaning of nouns. Adjectives are added to sentences to describe what a noun looks like. For example, a red car, a blue sky, a white house are simple examples of adjectives. We're going to also look at how adjectives add meaning and colour to the language that we use every day, and how we can use that to make our sentences more interesting and our stories more engaging. Well, as I just said, an adjective is a word that describes a noun in a sentence. As you can see, there are lots of examples of adjectives here that we use in our everyday language. Try and think about how you can use adjectives better when you're writing stories or sentences and try and describe things in more detail if possible. Okay, well what I'd like you to do now is to get a pencil and paper and write this sentence down for me. The tiger escaped from its cage and ran through the village. The tiger escaped from its cage and ran through the village. Okay, the sentence I gave you was the tiger escaped from its cage and ran through the village. Okay, now that you've got the sentence written down, I'd like you to try and make the sentence more interesting by adding a couple of adjectives to it. Remember that adjectives need to be added to nouns to make the noun more interesting. So you need to identify the nouns first and then think of appropriate adjectives that you could add to make the sentence more interesting to the reader, maybe a little bit more exciting. Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes to work on that. I've added two adjectives to that sentence to make it more interesting. The ferocious tiger escaped from its cage and ran through the terrified village. Okay, by adding two adjectives to the sentence, I've made the sentence more interesting to the reader, and I've created images in my mind of how the tiger looked and how the people in the village appeared. The sentence has become more interesting by adding two interesting adjectives which are attached to the nouns in the sentence.